Hi, this is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I wanted to do a very short tutorial on how to build a cactus prickly pear. I have a template that I stamped using just some grid paper, and that's kind of what you see up there in the center. And what I'm doing now is I'm stamping that same pattern on a piece of basic white cardstock using Evening Evergreen ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut it out. And what this is going to do, it's going to give us kind of a form or a background for constructing our prickly pear, which is going to be it's going to be a little 3D. We're going to pop it up on some dimensionals, but to ensure that all the little pieces kind of connect together, this is kind of my technique for constructing it. So now I'm going to stamp the different pieces of the prickly pear, and what I'm showing you is that you want to ensure that you stamp it along an edge and that you put the narrow piece there at the bottom, and you're going to go ahead and cut them out. You're going to cut your larger piece. Again, you're going to have to cut them out in strips on your punch, just simply because of the way the punch is constructed with so many pieces that it has to punch out. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to cut this into a strip. And now we're going to place it up from the bottom, and we're just going to place it into our punch and then just kind of move it up and punch out our larger piece of our of our prickly pear cactus. I'm going to set those aside, and now we're going to take the smaller pieces, and we're going to need more of those. And again, coming up from the bottom, and I kind of move the paper. You can see it's a little bit at an angle because I want to make sure that I don't punch, kind of get it in the way of that other punch area. So now we're going to punch out our little pink flowers. I'm going to use Magenta Madness, and I'm punching these a little bit towards, you can see they're a little bit at an angle to the right, and that, again, that's going to give us a little bit of space to punch out our flower, because I'm moving them. See, I'm putting my strip is kind of angled now a little bit to the right so that I can punch out my different little flower pieces. And it's not hard, but this is an easy way to go ahead and use the punch to punch out all your pieces and parts. Okay, so now that I have all the pieces, I'm showing you the back on how we're going to construct kind of our background. I'm using my multi-purpose tool here because what I want to do is I want to kind of make the prickly pear there kind of a dome shape. I want to give it a little bit more shape than just a flat piece, and then I'm going to put that on my pattern, and I'm going to cut around that I really don't need to see. And you can see how it's kind of going to take shape there, and that's how I'm going to use this this pattern to adhere the rest of my pieces. And again, I'm just kind of trimming kind of the wider parts of this this piece with my scissors, because now I'm going to go ahead and add my smaller cactus pieces. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with my other pieces. I'm just going to grab a tool, and I'm going to just kind of press around in a circle so that I kind of create a little bit of a dome shape so that it's not completely flat. And here I'm going to use some mini dimensionals right in the center, and then I'm just going to tuck the edge. The bottom edge of my cactus is going to get tucked under the top end, and then again I'm just going to cut off that extra piece. And I'm going to do that for the rest of my other cactus pieces, kind of working up from the bottom up. And again, just kind of trimming to make sure that you don't show any of your background. But since it's stamped out, it's really not going to matter. It's, because everything kind of blends together. So here's my last piece. I take the edge, I kind of tuck it right under that other one, and then here's my last cactus piece right there. And I just tuck the edge right under the last one. So there are my pieces. Now, I noticed that I had some of that white space, and all I did is I just took a sponge dauber, and what I wanted to do again, since I want this to be kind of a 3D popped up on dimensionals, I'm just using a little sponge dauber in my Evening Evergreen ink, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edge just to kind of give it an extra bit of dimension there. And there I'm doing that on the one that I've already created. Now I'm going to put my little pink blossoms on my cactus, and I'm going to use just some multi-purpose glue and adhere those. And those are very easy. I like to put a couple of them on the, kind of like to put them on the back end, and they secure very, very, very nicely. And I'm kind of bending them a little bit with my nails so that they fit to the curvature of our paper, since we did kind of curve our paper a little bit. There you go. Okay, so there's our cactus. Now the backgrounds will be another tutorial that I will have linked on here. But now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create the card. But I want to make sure that I have my pots. And I had the idea here of adding another cactus just to add just a little bit more. I mean, that looks fine just like that, right? I mean, that's just a gorgeous card just like that. But let's do it up. Let's go another step. I have the taller cactus that I'm going to put, and I'm just pulling some pieces. I like to stamp pieces and have them kind of put aside so I can pick when I'm putting together a card. But I wanted another color. I like this shape, and I'm picking the I think it's cinnamon. What is it? It is cinnamon cider, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp another pot, and then I'm going to just fussy cut that out. And I'm just going to curve that a little bit because that's going to be our cactus pot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, like I said, I'm going to add another cactus. And what I'm doing is I'm just arranging, and I'm trying to find another nice little cactus pot. So I'm kind of fumbling around here, and I think that I'm going to get a cactus pot, and then I want to stamp my other cactus. So I have my stamp, and I'm picking, I believe it's Pear Pizzazz, that we're going to go ahead and stamp and then fussy cut out this cactus. So I'm stamping those two cactus with my, I believe it's Pear Pizzazz. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that one out. Now here, I left the bottom of this cactus on, you can see that little bottom tab, and that's going to help us. And I should have done it for my other one, but it's kind of a little tip to help you when you want to put your cactus in your pot. It's going to help you to adhere it, and you'll see that here shortly. It's going to make a really cute arrangement on my card, but notice that I have two pots that are the same, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm just going to have to go ahead and I'm going to have to pull one of the stamps from the Cactus Cuties, and I'm going to pull another pot that has an interesting little design on it right there, because I kind of want to keep my different pots some interest. And then again, just simply fussy cut it. And I'm going to kind of bend it a little bit so it's nice and round. See, I'm going to kind of bend my cactus, and then I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue, and that kind of gives you, kind of makes it easier to go ahead and stick that to kind of pot your cactus. And I'm going to do the same. Now this one doesn't have the little tab on the bottom, so I just have to add a little bit of glue and kind of carefully put it on the edge of that one. But it just makes it a lot easier if you kind of, when you cut out your, fussy cut your cactus, that you have that extra little tab. Now I'm popping up my my backgrounds. Again, I'll have the link for that background, for that tutorial on how to create the backgrounds. But those are 5 3 3/4. I'm just going to kind of arrange those there. And sorry if it's a little bit out of view, but I just kind of want to trying to arrange them. Now for the cactus, I just adhered it with a piece with some multi-purpose glue right there. There you go. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put it onto my card. And okay, so I just go ahead, I'm going to adhere the back of my cactus. You can see how the back has our frame, our background, and I'm just going to go ahead and use my dimensionals. Now I'm kind of putting that one dimensional, you see how on the bottom I kind of anchored the bottom of my cactus to my pot using that dimensional. Just to make sure that it stays secure, using the mini dimensionals for some of the smaller little branches. And this will kind of give it some support on my card. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pull off all those little pieces. I'm pulling them off camera because I'm trying to keep them in my trash can, because I have so many of those all over the house because they just cling on to my clothing. And there, I just went ahead and adhered that one. You can see how nice it looks. Kind of looks very, very 3D. Nice dimension with the fact that we domed all the cactus. This one I'm going to move that one over, and you can kind of see one's overlapping a little bit more than the other. But with the backgrounds, it really you have to admit that's really a nice arrangement there, and the colors really pop well with the I believe it was Daffodil Delight backgrounds. Again, I'll link how to create those backgrounds for your cards. But hopefully you like this. This is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection. Please go to my blog for the complete PDF on how to make this card. This is just a nice a special video tutorial on how to go ahead and construct your prickly pear cactus and create some volume. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.